Our micro and mini class have just hit the track. They are brought to you by SSI Racing. Once again, we're in the middle of our heat races here at ROK Sonoma. Micro and mini ROK have hit the track. Master 100cc Grid A, Master 100cc Grid A, Senior 100cc presented by OPI Builders Grid B. And the Senior 100cc class will wrap up our heat races. Our main events will start at 2:35 with Senior ROK and Master ROK. If you're joining us on YouTube or on Facebook for the live stream, right now we are wrapping up our heat races here at ROK Sonoma. Race number 7. On track is our micro and mini ROK class. So typically for the heat races, we don't do a lot of announcing as we're getting ready for the live stream, but we are live. We are currently live on Facebook and on YouTube. And once again, this is ROK Sonoma, race number 7, brought to you by Blaze Online Coaching and Titanium Sports Nutrition. So if you're joining us online here, this is our micro and mini ROK class brought to you by SSI Racing. Your pole sitter is Gabby Guidera. Off pole is Matteo Calderon. And here at ROK Sonoma, we run these classes as a mixed class. So it's both the micro and the mini ROKs running together. But the teams have agreed they will all run the same exhaust restrictor to keep the times similar to each other. So the racing in this class has been pretty exciting all year long. And again, this is heat number 2 here at ROK Sonoma. And we will go to full production for the main events. So we'll see if the flagman likes how the grid looks coming down the straightaway. Once again, your pole sitter is Gabby Guidera. Off pole is Matteo Calderon. Actually, it was Matt Guidera. Gabby's brother was off pole. I misread their helmets. Matteo Calderon's further back in the field right now. So once again, this is our heat number 2 here at ROK Sonoma. And we'll do full announcing here for the main events. So if you're just joining us here online, this is the micro and mini ROK class brought to you by SSI Racing here at ROK Sonoma for race weekend number 7. And your current leader is Gabby Geras, followed by brother Matt Geras. A little bit further back in the background there is Eric Doan running in third. Then we have Henry Fogarty and Matteo Calderon running fourth and fifth. So we are scheduled for main events at 2:35 today. So once again, if you're just joining us, this is heat number 2 in our mini and micro rock class. Right now we have the cameras on Gabby and Matt Geras. And then it looks like a little further back in 4th and 5th we have some action taking place for that 4th spot. But right there is 3rd, Eric Doan. And once again, we will be doing the full broadcast of all the main events today here on YouTube and Facebook. So here we have Gabby Geras and Matt Geras going 1-2 here at ROK Sonoma. Heat number 2. So if you're joining us online, I will sporadically come back and forth as we get set up for the main events, which are scheduled to start at 2:35. But we are live, getting all the equipment set up and doing all of our sound checks. So if you're wondering why there's not a lot of announcing going on, that is why. But this is heat number 2 here at ROK Sonoma in our micro and mini class. And we have Gabby Geras as your leader looking over her shoulder, followed by brother Matt Geras. So yesterday our camera crew was walking around the pits trying to find some highlights for the weekend, and we have
I'm looking forward to battling with Matteo and
Gabby
Eric,
Geras.
and
We
maybe
caught
my
her
brother.
for a quick little
I'm
interview.
looking forward to my brother helping me. Probably my strongest section is probably the middle.
So at some point during the main event, we will show that.
Smooth and consistent. I gotta stay smooth, and I gotta just keep my
Here's
head
a
in
preview
it.
for you.
If they start to pull away, I just gotta keep going. Like anything could happen.
So that was Gabby Geras giving us a quick little interview. But once again, we will replay that in the main event. I don't want to give away all the little tidbits since we are saving that for the main production. So we are wrapping up our heat races here. Exiting the track was the micro and the mini rock class, exiting the track. Next on track will be Master 100cc. And after that will be our Senior 100cc class presented by OPI Builders. We will start our main events at 2:35. So once again, the Senior 100cc class is presented by OPI Builders. Commercial builder out of the Silicon Valley. Our next group on track here is 100cc Masters. And once again, the commentary is going to be very brief for the heat races here. We will start our main events at 2:35. So once again, if you're joining us here on YouTube or on Facebook, we are wrapping up our heat races here at ROK Sonoma, race number 7. On screen is our 100cc Masters class, and your current leader is Scott Fermanic, cart number 744, followed by David Ko and Michael Ting. So right now we have David Ko and Michael Ting on screen, following them through the tic-tac-toe section. For the main events, we will do full commentary. But right now, we are winding down our heat races. Next up, we will have our 100cc senior class brought to you by OPI Builders. So if you're just tuning in on the live stream, we are wrapping up the heat races here at ROK Sonoma. On screen is 100cc Master. Your current leader is Scott Fermanic, followed by David Ko and Michael Ting. Our main events are scheduled to start at 2:35, kicking off with Senior ROK and Master ROK. At 3:05, we will have Pro and Master ROK Shifter, presented by Altwell. 3:25 Junior 100cc, 3:45 125 Shifter Limited, presented by Altwell. 4:05 Micro and Mini ROK, presented by SSI Racing, and 4:25 Master 100cc. And wrapping up our day at 4:45 will be Senior 100cc, presented by OPI Builders. So stay tuned for our main events. We have a couple of driver interviews coming up. We will have full commentary of the races for the main events, and you can view either on YouTube or on Facebook. And here in Heat 2 racing action, it looks like Michael Ting has gotten around Scott Fermanic for that number 1 spot. David Ko is now running in 3rd. Again, this is Heat number 2, 100cc Masters here at ROK Sonoma, race number 7. Take a moment to hit like and subscribe on whatever channel you're watching, and share the broadcast with your friends, either on Facebook or on YouTube or any other social media platform you may use. You can also go back to our playlist and watch previous races we've live streamed. And again, the main events, we will have full commentary. If you enjoy what we're doing, leave a comment, share it with your friends. So yesterday our camera crew was walking around the pits. We're trying to find some highlights for the weekend, and we started focusing on our current point leaders here at ROK Sonoma race number 7. And yesterday we were able to catch up with Eddie Shimon, the points leader in the 100cc senior class, brought to you by OPI Builders. So let's take a few moments and see what Eddie had to share with us yesterday.
The competition's pretty fierce out here. We got Joey Hand, Roman Magical, Sandoval, and Chris Martin, so I think it'll be a good battle tomorrow. I would say our strongest points are in the hairpins, going through Monaco and Kramer, and especially that right-left coming back into Laguna. I would say I'm pretty strong through there.
What do you got to do to win tomorrow?
Give it my all and try to be better than everyone else tomorrow.
So that was yesterday, catching up with Eddie Shimon. So we have a correction. He had mentioned Joey Hand as far as one of his competitors. It's actually Chase Hand, Joey's son, is who he's racing against. But he's pitted right next to Joey's big trailer. So we can understand a little bit of the confusion there. But it's Chase Hand he's competing against. And earlier today in the first heat race, there was some really good racing action going on. So definitely tune in for the main events. as the 100cc senior class is always a great highlight for this series. So once again, this is our 100cc senior class, heat number 2. This will wrap up the heat races here at ROK Sonoma. We're going to take a little bit of a break. We will be back live for the main event starting at 2:35, and that will kick off with our senior and master ROK class. Looks like all of our drivers kind of made it through turn 1 cleanly. Back in the mid-pack, a lot of contact, a lot of shuffling going on. So if you stay tuned to Race Monitor and the live results, we'll see how that got shuffled up. But your leader is Chase Hand here in the 100cc class at ROK Sonoma. Looks like that's Roman Madrigal right behind him and Eddie Shimon in third. Christopher Martin Christopher Martin goes into third. How is this going to work out? He actually made a pass on the outside going into Monaco. That drops Roman Madrigal down to fourth. And then cart number 905 on the GFC. Ridgely Welsh is having a hell of a run. That's a solid start for Ridgely. So once again, if you're joining us online for the heat races, I will be in and out. But we will do full commentary for the main events. But this is our 100cc senior class, brought to you by OPI Builders. There's always a lot of racing action in this class. I may have a little bit of bias here. I'm really happy to see Ridgely Welsh running up there in 5th. He's a common contributor on our NorCal Monday show, so it's nice to see him stepping up to the senior group and running really strong. And cart number 920. That's going to be Michael Mishoff. He's making a move through the field. If you are joining us on live with the live stream, you are watching the 100cc senior class brought to you by OPI Builders. And this is our final heat race of the day. At 2:35, we will do the main events, starting with our Senior ROK and Master ROK class. But right now, your current race leader, Chase Hand, followed by Eddie Shinnon. And in third, we have Roman Madrigal. So right now we have the racing action on Ridgely Welsh and Michael Mishoff. They are battling for 4th and 5th right now. And once again, this is heat number 2, 100cc senior class. And as we get ready for our main events, let's take a moment to thank our series sponsors. We have SSI Racing. They're a kart racing team based here at Sonoma, and they also do sim training. So that's SSI Racing. We have Altwell, Alternative Wellness Products. You can find Altwell on altwell.com. Again, Alternative Wellness Products. And OPI Builders. OPI Builders, also one of our class sponsors. Commercial builder out of the Silicon Valley. And series sponsors, we have Titanium Sports Nutrition. Nutrition products geared towards the athlete. Titanium Sports Nutrition. Everything we do, we believe human potential is limitless. And finally, we have Blaze Online Coaching. So Blaze Online Coaching, interactive coaching, utilizing stream and online services. We want to thank our sponsors. And once again, we will go live at 2:35 for the main events with Senior Rock, Master Rock. And in a moment, we will pause for the national anthem. All right, let's get ready to race here. Our Senior ROK Master ROK class. Senior ROK Master ROK is getting ready to hit the track. So your pole sitter in the Senior ROK class, Colin McGrath, cart number 313. Off pole, cart 370, Torsten Olsen. Then in our Master ROK class, we have Hunter Hagenbuck, cart number 624. And Dan Jones, cart number 614. And then we have David Pallet, cart 611, and Fred Clark, cart number 615. This is our Senior ROK Master ROK class. So our Senior ROK Master ROK class will kick off our main events here at ROK Sonoma, race number 7. So it looks like our drivers are going to go around one more time for their formation lap. You're going to see a dual start here. You're going to see the senior drivers about 100 or 200 feet ahead of the master drivers. The senior drivers, their carts start with the number 3. The master drivers, their carts start with the number 6. So Colin McGrath is bringing them down the straightaway. We have a green flag. Our masters get the green flag. Going into turn 1, everyone makes it around nice and clean. So it looks like it's Hunter Hagenbuck as your Hunter Hagenbuck was able to get the whole shot on the start. He is your leader for Master ROK. And it looks like that is Dan Jones running in second, with Fred Clark running in third and David Pallet running in fourth. So in the Masters class, it looks like we have GFC, CRG, and Sodi Kart represented. So for the past couple of years here at ROK Sonoma in this Master ROK class, you just never know who's going to take the checkered flag. On screen we have Colin McGrath. And right behind him is Torsten Olsen. That is your senior drivers. So it looks like our senior drivers are spreading out a little bit. Again, your leader is Colin McGrath. Second is Torsten Olsen. And that is your senior ROK class. And your Master ROK class, our current running order, Hunter Hagenbuck, Dan Jones, Fred Clark, and David Pallet. So it looks like on track, we're going to try to pick up the Masters. And right now, about the only position up for contention is second place in the Masters class between Dan Jones and Fred Clark. So we're going to track these drivers around for a few laps here. If I had to say, I personally preferred when the classes were run mixed, because a lot of times a master driver would get tied up with a senior driver and it'd shake everything up. I'm sure the drivers didn't appreciate the points and how it worked out, but from a video production standpoint, it was exciting racing. So right now we have Hunter Hagenbuck on the GFC chassis pulling away from second place, Dan Jones on the CRG, and third we have Fred Clark on a CRG. And running in fourth we have David Pallet on the Sodi kart. We're going to pick up our senior drivers here. So the white helmet there, that's Torsten Olsen. We'll zoom over to your race leader, Colin McGrath. And if you're wondering the layout for this track is sprint. This is the sprint track. So they do not utilize the long straightaway. Much more technical and tight track. There's multiple layouts here at ROK Sonoma. So here come our senior drivers through tic-tac-toe. And then next up will be our Pro and Master ROK Shifter, presented by Altwell. Pro and Master ROK Shifter, make yourself up to grid A. You're scheduled to start at 3:05. Junior 100cc, Junior 100cc. You're scheduled to start at 3:25. Start thinking about it. So back to the racing action here on track. We have the Master ROK class. And we have David Pallet applying some pressure to Fred Clark. So we're going to keep an eye on these two. So you have Fred Clark running in third, being trailed by David Pallet, who clobbers a curb, lost a few kart positions on that one. Well, not positions, but spacing. So David Pallet was closing the gap, then he clobbered the curb exiting tic-tac-toe. Let's see if he's going to regain that track distance here. Drivers are entering Monaco. Then they're going to go into the left-hand sweeper. They're going to head up the hill into Laguna. So keeping an eye on the battle here between Fred Clark and David Pallet. The drivers are entering tic-tac-toe. Again, this is the battle for third. Pallet looks a lot cleaner on that lap getting through that section. Let's see if he can take that momentum into the next corner for a possible pass. They enter the right-hand sweeper. Then they're going to enter into Kramer. Fred Clark goes out wide on the exit of the sweeper. Does David Pallet look to the inside? Not there. Now they're heading up the hill into Laguna. Let's see if Pallet is going to make a attempt. Nothing there. So David and his son Keegan, they have been on the NorCal Monday show a few times. David and Keegan were actually the very first live stream guests for NorCal Mondays a couple of years ago when I was trying to figure out the whole Skype thing. And tomorrow night on NorCal Monday is going to be open mic night. So if you want to join the show with Ashley and myself, pull one of us aside today. Get your name on the list. Tomorrow's theme is open mic. Last week we did race officials. So Fred Clark is holding his own right now with David Pallet behind him. Elsewhere on the track, all the other drivers are spread out quite wide. We'll see how aggressive Pallet is going to get. And he makes the pass. Oh, and there goes Fred Clark back to the inside of David Pallet. David Pallet goes wide, drops a wheel. So Fred Clark is now back in third. It's hard to tell from the angle. I'm going back and forth between a live view and a TV view. It did not appear any contact was made, but David Pallet made the pass for third. A couple turns later, Fred Clark countered, made a pass, went to the inside. It didn't appear that contact was made, but David Pallet went wide, dropped a wheel. That gave the position back to Fred Clark. So now we'll see if David Pallet can claw his way back for another attempt at third. But Fred Clark has been looking over his shoulder. So David Pallet has now closed the gap again. We will have 7 laps to go. 7 laps to go in this Senior ROK, Master ROK race. But right now, a lot of the racing action on the track is really for this third position. So that's why we're focused on third right now. That is where the action on the track is. So let's see if David Pallet comes back here going into Kramer. Not enough racing room there. Now they're going to enter into Monaco, which in this layout is a right-hander. Then it quickly drops into a left-hander. Then they come out of the left-hand sweeper. They head up the hill into Laguna. And instead of going through the Mamo S's, they make a hard hairpin right across the start-finish line. Once again, this is the sprint layout here at ROK Sonoma. Oh, we lose David Pallet and tic-tac-toe. I'll have to go back and watch a replay on that. It just looks like he hit the curb too hard and just looped it. So he's able to continue. We'll see if Fred Clark knows he lost David Pallet and tic-tac-toe. It doesn't appear that he knows because he keeps looking over his shoulder. Let's see here. So I imagine when he went through turn 1, I imagine Fred Clark was able to see Pallet out of his peripheral on the infield. So I'm sure at this point he knows he's running by himself. Meanwhile, back on camera, we have Colin McGrath. This is your Senior ROK leader. The drivers are going to have 4 laps to go. 4 laps to go for the Senior ROK, Master ROK class. All right, so back to the racing action here. We have Colin McGrath is your senior rock leader. Hunter Hagenbuck is your master rock leader. The drivers are going to have 3 laps to go. So that's Hunter Hagenbuck. We're going to follow around for a couple of corners here. This is your leader of the Master Rock class, cart number 624 on the GFC chassis. So it looks like Colin McGrath is on a Croc Promotions chassis. So right now we're going to go back and forth between the 2 leaders of the classes. So right now we're following Colin McGrath, the leader of our senior rock class. Then we have Hunter Hagenbuck right here. This is your leader of the master rock class. Tic-tac-toe is always a fun section to watch the drivers come through. So it looks like we're going to get the white flag here for Colin McGrath, your senior rock leader, followed by Torsten Olsen in second. And then we have Hunter Hagenbuck coming around. This is your leader for Master Rock, running 3rd overall. Then we have Dan Jones, cart number 614, Master Rock. Then we have Fred Clark. And rounding out your top 4 in Master Rock will be David Pallet. But right now we have Hunter Hagenbuck. Following Hunter around the track in your Master Rock class. And we're going to try to pick up your overall winner, Colin McGrath, coming to the start-finish line. So Colin McGrath with the win in Senior Rock. Torsten Olsen in second. Hunter Hagenbuck is going to be your winner in Master Rock, 3rd overall on the track. Then we have Dan Jones and Fred Clark, and rounding out your top 4 in Master Rock, David Pallet. Next up, we are going to have the Pro and Master Rock Shifter. Pro and Master Rock Shifter, presented by Altwell. Pro and Master Rock Shifter. You should be on grid A, ready to hit the track. Pro and Master Rock Shifter, presented by Altwell. You should be ready to hit the track. And here in your Pro Rock Shifter class, your pole sitter, Brian Keck, aboard his GFC chassis. Off pole, we have Kevin Woods on his CRG chassis. These 2 drivers are going to keep the Ron White, Gary Carlton rivalry alive. In 3rd, we have Ryan Martin. 4th, we have Dustin Salaveria. 5th, Henry Barton. 6th, Ethan Boer. 7th, Tazio Otis. And your pole sitter for Master Rock Shifter, we have Neil Joseph. Off pole, Alan Morty. 3rd, we have Patrick O'Neill. And fourth will be Jeff Mills. And again, this is our Pro and Master ROK shifter class. And a quick shout out, if you're listening, to Chris Keck. Your brother is sitting on pole, Brian Keck is sitting on pole. So Chris Keck, if you're watching, your brother says hello. And yesterday our camera crew was walking around the pits and we were able to pick up a quick interview with your points leader, Ryan Martin. So yesterday we had Ryan Martin. We had a quick little interview. He is your points leader in the Pro ROK shifter class. So let's take a moment. So we'll take a moment to see what he had to say about his rivalries and where he feels he's strong on the track.
I think tomorrow the biggest battle will be with Brian Keck. We're in a really close points championship right now, and then Henry Barton's been really fast today as well, so we'll see how he does tomorrow. I really like the sweeper section through here. You kind of come in with a lot of speed, and then the switchbacks, it's something new and different, so it's always good to switch it up a bit. Honestly, I think the biggest thing is keeping the tire under you, so really just stay out front, qualify good, stay up front, and save the tires for the main event.
So that was Ryan Martin. Quick little interview with Ryan Martin yesterday. Once again, CRG driver for Ron White, your current points leader. And we were also able to catch up with his teammate, your master ROK shifter points leader, Patrick O'Neill. Patrick's definitely a fan favorite. He's exciting to watch. Sometimes he needs to throttle back a little bit, but we were able to catch up with him for a few moments. Let's see what Patrick O'Neill had to say.
Patrick O'Neill, who are you looking forward to most battling tomorrow?
Neil Joseph, he's pretty fast around here. Alan's pretty fast, but I think most of all, I just kind of just get the hammer down, and basically it's a very flowing track, so you have to be very precise and keep the tire under you. And the advantage I have is definitely the entry to tic-tac-toe, because I'm more of an aggressive nature of a person, so I like just to take the bull by the horns. So I think if I put it all together and just calm the tiger a little bit, I think we'll be in good shape.
So once again, we just heard from one of our series favorites, Patty O'Neill, as he is the points leader in the Masters ROK shifter class. And right now, our drivers are coming around. They do a standing start. The shifters will do a standing start. And once again, your pole sitter, Brian Keck, cart number 481. Off pole, Kevin Woods, cart number 494. So keep an eye on Patty O'Neill and tic-tac-toe. He feels that's one of his strengths on this track is tic-tac-toe. And then Ryan Martin, keep an eye on Ryan Martin. He mentioned Brian Keck earlier as his main rival today. He also mentioned his teammate Henry Barton. We have a green flag. Wow, and Dustin Salaveria has a whole shot on the outside going into turn one. He's able to go from fourth into second. And it looks like Ryan Martin is going to drop all the way back to fifth. So Brian Keck, he has your lead, but it was Dustin Salaveria with the whole shot on the outside. So it looks like all of our drivers made it through turn one nice and clean. But now we have contact back in Kramer. That looks like there's contact between Alan Morty, Jeff Mills, and that might be Neil Joseph. So just as I opened my big mouth and said everyone made it through turn one, contact was made down in Kramer. And that was Neil Joseph who got the rough end of that one. So Neil Joseph, it looks like he's going to be able to continue, but he's at the back of the pack. Meanwhile, we're just following the race in action as they pan through the different corners here at ROK Sonoma. Race number 7 doing the sprint layout. Brian Keck is your current race leader. Dustin Salaveria had a great start. He's in second. Kevin Woods, I have to live vicariously through this guy because normally he runs Masters. Past number of races he's been running with the pro drivers. He's running in third. And it looks like we have Ryan Martin and Henry Barton running 4th and 5th. And I think that's young Ethan Boer running in 6th. That is Ethan Boer running in 6th, so he had a solid few laps. So I just found out that Boer gets the long distance commuter award for this race. Apparently he flies in from Florida for these Sonoma races, and right now he's sitting there in 5th or 6th. He's sitting there in 6th spot, challenging for 5th. So this will be fun to watch because Henry Barton and Ethan Boer are probably the 2 youngest drivers in this class. Oh, and Ethan Boer goes to the inside. We'll see if we pick that up on camera. It might have been too far back, but Ethan Boer went to the inside coming on the straightaway, and it looks like he made the pass stick. Meanwhile, at the front, we have Brian Keck, Dustin Salaveria, Kevin Woods. That's your top 3. So let's keep an eye here on Kevin Woods, see if he can get around Dustin Salaveria. So I was talking about Henry Barton and Ethan Boer as being a couple of the younger drivers in the field. Then we have Kevin Woods, one of our older drivers in the field, running in 3rd. So right now we're on 2nd and 3rd. It looks like Kevin Woods is applying pressure to Dustin Salaveria. Gave it a little look going into Monaco. So let's see if Kevin, nope, he doesn't try to dive bomb to the inside, not enough room. But we're going to keep the camera on this battle right here. So the 2 drivers are going in a tic-tac-toe. So Kevin Woods is a very calculated driver. He generally doesn't make a lot of risky passing decisions. So we'll see how he's going to race this little battle here behind Dustin Salaveria. Because all the drivers on the track, they're all competitors. And it looks like Ryan Martin might be closing the gap on Kevin Woods. So Ryan Martin, that would be Kevin Woods' teammate. But Martin's in the points chase. He needs every position on the track for the points. Meanwhile, second place points position, Brian Keck is out front. So we'll keep an eye on Kevin and Ryan Martin. We'll see if Kevin gives him the pass. So once again, if you're just joining us live, this is our Pro and Master ROK Shifter class, ROK Sonoma race number 7. And right now we are following the battle for seconds between Dustin Salaveria, Kevin Woods, and Ryan Martin. So earlier we did have a quick little interview with Ryan Martin and Patrick O'Neill, so you can go back to the replay and check that out. Ryan Martin is all over the rear bumper of Kevin Woods. Meanwhile, Salaveria is able to pull out just a little bit of a gap. So if Ryan Martin has any thoughts of going for a win, he needs to make a pass here quickly because Brian Keck is just on cruise control. Brian Keck has about a 3.5 second lead over Dustin Salaveria. We'll keep an eye on that time differential. Brian Keck just added another 10th to his lead. And it looks like on the track we lost one of our drivers. Looks like Neil Joseph has pulled off at the scales. But meanwhile, back here in the racing action, Ryan Martin is trying to get around. Kevin Woods goes to the inside. Contact is made. Let's see what happens here with Ryan. Contact was made with Ryan and Kevin. We're going to see if that's going to affect Ryan's kart. So we're going to be watching Ryan's kart control under heavy braking and some of these tight corners. Yeah, it looks like Ryan Martin has his hands full with that kart going through the sweepers, so he may have a bent front end. We'll keep an eye on his lap times to see. Meanwhile, Brian Keck, your race leader, is now 4.2 seconds ahead of Dustin Salaveria. Yeah, so it looks like Ryan Martin is no longer pressuring that third place spot. It looks like he's just kind of hanging on. Once again, this is just speculation from my standpoint. But here comes Brian Keck. 8 laps to go for Brian Keck. We'll see if we can find some other racing action on the track here. But here's Brian Keck, your race leader on the GFC chassis, kart number 481. So as you can see, it takes almost 4 seconds before you see the next kart in the background of Brian Keck here on the live stream. So Brian's had a very solid day today, winning heat races. Started on pole, had a good start. Then we had Dustin Salaveria with a hole shot, which put him in a second place. So right now we're going to try to pick up Patrick O'Neill. He's your current Master Rock Shifter leader, cart number 564. So if you're watching online and you're curious how we know the different classes, so the Pro Rock Shifter, their cart numbers start with a 4. Master Rock Shifter, their cart number starts with a 5. So Pro Rock Shifter starts with a 4, Master Rock Shifter starts with a 5. So all the races have really spread out here. But we are following Patrick O'Neill through tic-tac-toe. Yeah. So we're actually going to try to pick up the racing action between Kevin Woods and Ryan Martin again. So it looks like Ryan Martin was able to close the gap on Kevin Woods. So the drivers are going to head down to tic-tac-toe. So now we join the racing action for third. We have Kevin Woods and Ryan Martin, their teammates. Ryan Martin is running for points. Kevin Woods is running for results. Earlier, Ryan Martin tried to make a pass on Kevin. Contact was made. I made some speculation if the cart was damaged or not by Ryan Martin, but it looks like he was able to close that gap. Many times we don't know the full story until we talk to the drivers after the race. So it does not look like Kevin Woods is closing the gap on Dustin Salaveria. And it looks like Ryan is doing everything he can just to try to maintain his position to challenge for third with Kevin Woods. Let's see, I'm going to keep an eye on the lap times between Salaveria and Woods. Because visually on the track, it looks like that last lap, Kevin Woods closed position on Dustin Salaveria, who is running in second. Yeah, Kevin Woods is definitely pacing faster than Dustin Salaveria. So we may actually have a race coming up here between Woods and Salaveria. So the three carts that just went through your screen: Dustin Salaveria, Kevin Woods, Ryan Martin. Second, third, and fourth in the Pro Rock Shifter class. And it looks like at some point Ethan Boer has gotten around Henry Barton. So Ethan Boer is running in fifth place. Henry Barton is running in sixth. Tazio Otis is running in seventh. In the master class, we have Patrick O'Neill, Alan Morty, Jeff Mills, and Neil Joseph had to retire after contact was made earlier in the race. So our Pro Rock Shifter drivers are getting the white flag. White flag for the Pro Rock Shifter drivers. Next up, we will have our Junior 100cc. Junior 100cc Grid A. Junior 100cc Grid A. So we're going to try to pick up our race leader here, Brian Keck, for the checkered flag. We'll see if we can grab Brian in time. We just barely caught Brian Keck for the checkered flag. Unfortunately, he was so far out in the lead for a video broadcast. The battle for second was still going on. So that was our Pro Rock Shifter, Master Rock Shifter class. Unfortunately, some of our racing got spread out a little bit too quick at the beginning laps. Contact in the field took out a couple of our competitors. But your overall race winner and your Pro Rock Shifter winner, Brian Keck on the GFC. Second place, Dustin Salaveria. Third place, Kevin Woods. Fourth place, Ryan Martin. Fifth place, Ethan Boer. That's a great run for Ethan Boer. Sixth place, Henry Barton. Seventh place, Tazio Otis. And in your Master Rock Shifter class, we had class winner, Patrick O'Neill. So next up, we have our junior 100cc is next on track. Anthony White. And your pole sitter for junior 100cc, Max Altman. Off pole, Anthony White. Third, Casey Moyer. Fourth, Hudson Sharp. Fifth, Yana Kapoor. Sixth, Valen Venkatesh. Seventh, Dylan Turner. Eighth, Nobu Cabrera. And ninth, Christian Cameron. So this is our junior 100cc class. And yesterday, we were able to catch up with your points leader in junior 100cc, who's sitting off pole for the main event, Anthony White. So let's catch up with Anthony White. He talks about his main competitors for this event and some areas of the track he feels he has an advantage.
I'm looking forward to battling Max and Casey. They seem like really good competitors, but they're pretty quick, so I think I have an advantage in tic-tac-toe, the exit. It seems like I'm a little bit quicker there, and I like that it's more technical instead of just the engine, like it's more about the driver. It's going to take a lot. I think that Max and Casey are really quick, and some other drivers are also really quick, so it's going to take a lot.
So on the live stream, we just heard from our points leader, Anthony White. If you're at the track and you're not on YouTube, you can go to YouTube tonight and check it out. But your pole sitter, Max Altman, off pole, Anthony White is bringing the carts down the main straightaway. So we're going to keep an eye to see if they get the start. And keep an eye on cart number 819 of Christian Cameron. So the drivers, they get a green flag, they go into turn one. All the drivers get through there nice and clean. Looks like Anthony White was shuffled back to third. Casey Moyer is running in second. Max Altman is running in first. And that looks like that might be Hudson Sharp running in fourth. The drivers are fanning out, going to the right-hand sweeper. So that looks like Hudson is now running in third. So Max Altman is your race leader. Hudson Sharp is now in second. So Hudson Sharp made a nice pass on Casey Moyer to go from third to second. Meanwhile, carts are getting banged up a little bit in that midfield. Looks like there was a little bit of contact between Anthony White and Yana Kapoor. But meanwhile, we have Max Altman as your leader, but right now the camera is on Hudson Sharp. It looks like Anthony White went to the inside, so Anthony White is back into third. So Hudson Sharp is in second, Anthony White is in third, Casey Moyer is in fourth, Yana Kapoor is in fifth. So we're going to keep the cameras on the action right now for second place. Sorry, Max. We just caught you there for a brief moment crossing the start-finish line. But right now we're following Hudson Sharp around the track as he fends off 3 drivers trying to take that number 2 spot from him. Wow, and Anthony White just came flying out of tic-tac-toe. Looks like Yana Kapoor looks to the inside of Casey Moyer entering the straightaway. And it looks like we have Christian Cameron running in 6 already. So keep an eye on Christian Cameron, cart number 819, bright green and white helmet. So Hudson Sharp is running in second. He is the leader of this large pack we're following around the track here. Anthony White is running in third. Like to see Casey Moyer is still in fourth. Yana Kapoor is in fifth. Christian Cameron's in sixth. Seventh is Valen Venkatesh. Anthony White to the inside of Hudson Sharp going to the right-hand sweeper. Looks like he makes it stick. Anthony White is now running in second. Let's see if Hudson Sharp tries to counter back. Not enough of a gap there for Hudson. So now Anthony White is in second, holding off Hudson Sharp. But keep it. Oh, there goes Christian Cameron to the inside of Yana Kapoor on the hairpin. At this track, that is a very tricky pass because the race directors have made it clear. If you make any contact in that corner, they will not go light on the penalties there because in the past, that has been known as a dive bomb corner. Christian Cameron made a beautiful pass going in there. So now he is running in fifth, chasing down Casey Moyer. And it looks like he got around Casey Moyer exiting Kramer. So let's see if Christian's going to go chase down Hudson Sharp for that fourth position spot. So meanwhile, out in the lead, you have Max Altman. Running in second, you have Anthony White. Running in third, you have Hudson Sharp. Fourth, you have Christian Cameron. And fifth, you have Casey Moyer. So on your screen here, way there at the top, that is your race leader, Max Altman. So he was, oh no, we lost Hudson Sharp exiting tic-tac-toe. From our angle, I can't tell if contact was made. It didn't appear to be contact. But on the exit of tic-tac-toe, Hudson Sharp just lost control. So that puts Anthony White, he maintains second place, but that puts Christian Cameron into third. We're going to watch the lap times between White and Cameron. So Max Altman right now has a 3.5 second lead over Anthony White, and he just went purple. So your race leader, Max Altman, went purple. So we're going to follow third place Christian Cameron around for a little bit. Let's see if he's going to close the gap on second place Anthony White. But elsewhere on the track, it looks like everyone's kind of settled into their position for now. But it's racing. Anything can happen. So right now we're following Christian Cameron out of tic-tac-toe. There's the rest of the field. So right now, Max Altman has a 3.6 second gap over Anthony White. Then there's a 1.3 second gap between Anthony and Cameron. So we'll keep an eye on that gap as well. So it looks like Cameron is pacing about a tenth of a lap faster than Anthony White. But the field is not gaining ground on Max Altman. Max Altman is running an OTK product under the Speed Sense tent. Anthony White is on a CRG product under the Ron White Racing tent. Christian Cameron is on an OTK product. Yeah, so right now our lap times look pretty steady. We'll also keep an eye on Hudson Sharp. He's currently in 8th. So Hudson was running up in 3rd. On this layout, some of the drivers have had a hard time in tic-tac-toe on the exit. Coming through there a little too hot, hitting the curbs a little too heavy. And a number of drivers throughout the day have lost traction on the exit of tic-tac-toe. Now there goes Hudson Sharp to the inside. So Hudson Sharp is now in 7th. Meanwhile, we're following the, let's see here, we have Anthony White on screen, followed by Christian Cameron. So you can see Christian Cameron ducking, trying to catch 2nd place. And it looks like he went 2 tenths faster than Anthony White on that last lap. So we will keep an eye on the lap times between Cameron and White. Meanwhile, Max Altman, his lead has grown to 4 seconds, so he's way out in front. Our next class up, 125 Shifter Limited, 125 Shifter Limited, presented by Altwell. You should be on grid A. Grid A for 125 Shifter Limited, presented by Altwell. So once again, our race leader, Max Altman, cart number 818, has a over 4 second lead over 2nd place Anthony White. And maybe we could try to pick up some video of Max Altman here. Tic-tac-toe. So we're going to try to pick up Max Altman as he goes down to tic-tac-toe. Here you go, Max. You're on YouTube. So far, Max has drove a solid race. From the opening laps, there really hasn't been any contention for that number 1 spot. There was great racing action between 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That helped Max increase his lead. And on top of that, Max keeps ripping off fast laps. So he has about a 4-second lead over second place Anthony White, who comes on your screen right there. And once again, the white and green helmet is Christian Cameron running in third. Looks like we might have a battle for fourth between Casey Moyer and Yana Kapoor. So we'll see if anything happens here off the screen between Casey and Yana. But right now, that's about the only spot on the track where there's a contention. So we're going to follow the battle here between Yana and Casey Moyer. So Casey is in the orange and blue helmet. Yana Kapoor is in the white helmet. This is going to be the battle for that fourth place spot on the track. So we're going to have 4 laps to go. 4 laps to go in our junior 100cc class. So Yana Kapoor is definitely challenging for that fourth place spot with Casey Moyer. These two drivers are teammates. They're going to have 3 laps to go when they cross the start-finish line here. And once again, the hairpin in front of the start-finish line. It's heavily monitored for dive bomb passes. So our drivers go down to tic-tac-toe. You can see Yana ducking, trying to gain any advantage over Casey Moyer, trying to close that gap. So once again, this is our junior 100cc class here at ROK Sonoma. This is race number 7. We are running the sprint layout. And our races are brought to you by Blaze Online Interactive Coaching and Titanium Sports Nutrition. So we're going to have 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go. So it looks like our top 3 have been pretty steady in their track position. 4th place is still up for grabs between Casey Moyer and Yana Kapoor. But it looks like Valen Venkatesh might be closing the gap as well on Yana Kapoor. So we have a white flag lap. This is the last lap for the 100cc junior class. We will try to pick up our leader, but there's also a battle going on for 4th. So right now we're following our leader around, Max Altman. Oh, now we just picked up Hudson. So we're following our leader around for the checkered flag. Keep your hands on the wheel, Max. And Max Altman gets the win. So your race winner is Max Altman. Second place, we have Anthony White. Third place is Casey Moyer after Christian Cameron pulled off the track. Yana Kapoor is running in fourth. Valen Venkatesh ended up finishing fifth. Hudson Sharp was able to salvage a sixth place after a off-the-track incident. So that was our junior 100cc class. Next up will be our 125 Shifter Limited 125. Shifter Limited presented by Altwell. After that will be our Micro and Mini Rock class presented by SSI Racing. At 425 we're scheduled to see Master 100cc, and rounding out our day at 445 will be Senior 100cc presented by OPI Builders. So coming back at you, this is our 125 Shifter Limited class brought to you by Altwell, Alternative Wellness Products. For more information, you can visit them at altwell.com. This is our 125 Shifter Limited class. Your pole sitter, Pat Beckley. He's in the number 43 of the GFC chassis. Off pole, we have Jim Kidd, cart number 98 in the Aluminos chassis. Second row, Travis Bowles, Ori Della Pena. Third row, Roger Cornwall, Steve Pageau. Fourth row, Eric Verdon, Greg Abate. Fifth row, Trevor Getter, Nathan Velez. Sixth row, David Conyers and Rich Phillips. So we're going to keep an eye on the standing start. Let's see if the flag man gives him the visor down. Green flag. Beckley has a good hole shot. Travis Bowles goes to the inside. Oh, Jim Kidd hangs it on the outside going into turn one. Looks like we lost Steve Pageau in the mid-pack there. So Steve Pageau got dropped a couple of wheels. Cart number 27. Eric Verdon, he's at the work on his starts a little bit more. But back on track, we have Pat Beckley, Jim Kidd, and Travis Bowles. So it's good to see Jim Kidd running it back at the front of the pack. He's been in and out of the cart seat this year. But Pat Beckley, he is running in first. Jim Kidd in second. Travis Bowles in third. Ori Della Pena is now in fourth. So it looks like Steve Pageau, he maintained seventh on the track. He went a little bit wide exiting turn one. Lost one spot on the start, but now he's in seventh. So right now we're watching the drivers come through the right-hand sweeper. So right now it looks like we have the action picking up between Trevor Getter and Roger Cornwall. And Steve Pageau is going to join the action here. So let's try to keep the cameras on the action here. All right, here's your race leader, Pat Beckley. So we're going to try to grab the drivers as they go into tic-tac-toe. Oh, looks like Steve Pageau goes to the inside. No, that's not Steve, that's Trevor Getter. Trevor goes to the inside of Roger Cornwell. They come on the short chute. Trevor Getter still on the inside. It looks like Steve Pageau's going to make a pass. Let's see where the racing action takes us here with Steve Pageau. Looks, thinks about it, backs out of it. But that puts Trevor Getter, he is now in fifth. Roger Cornwell's in sixth. Steve Pageau's in seventh. So over the past couple of races, Trevor Getter has found some pace. He's been picking it up. So we're watching Trevor Getter come through tic-tac-toe, but we have Roger Cornwall and Steve Pageau battling for that sixth spot. So this is the battle for fifth that we are watching. A couple laps ago we had Trevor Getter and Roger Cornwell exchanging positions. So we're going to try to pick up the racing action. Here we go. So this is the battle for third and fourth between Travis Bowles and Ori Della Pena. So Ori was able to close the gap on Travis, so let's see if he's going to make anything happen here. He dropped a tire, lost a little bit of momentum. Once again, this is our 125 Shifter Limited class, 125. Shifter Limited here at ROK Sonoma. And if you're wondering what limited it is, it's basically just an exhaust restrictor. So it's the same engine as our Pro ROK shifters and our Master ROK shifter with a little exhaust restrictor. This has been a very popular class here at ROK Sonoma over the past couple of years. But right now we're watching Travis Bowles. He's on the CRG product. Then we have Ori Della Penna on the GFC product. We'll see if there's any other action on the track right now. A couple spots behind these two. There's still the battle for 6 between Roger Cornwell and Steve Pageau. And off camera we have your race leader, cart number 43, Pat Beckley, followed by Jim Kidd and Travis Bowles. So once Pat Beckley has found his groove, he's been on cruise control for most of the season. He has been the guy to beat. Jim Kidd is one of our long-time racers here at ROK Sonoma. He's been on all of these layouts many times. Nice to see him running in second place on his Aluminos chassis. Oh, we got Ori Della Penna to the inside of Travis Bowles. Does he make it stick? There is no crossover attempt. So Ori Della Penna goes to the inside of Travis Bowles. Now Ori is in third. We definitely caught the tail end of that, possibly the whole pass here on video. But that was a very nice pass by Ori. So Ori is now running in third. So we're going to try to pick up the racing action between Roger Cornwell and Steve Pageau as they go into tic-tac-toe. So on the opening lap, Steve Pageau dropped a tire. Exiting turn 1, he lost a position. But these two have been dicing the whole race for that number 6 spot here on the track. Roger Cornwell is on the GFC product. Steve Pageau is on the CRG product. If you're just tuning in and you're new to karting, the GFC has a black and white color scheme. Steve Pageau on the CRG has the black and orange color scheme. We'll see if Steve pulls the trigger at some point. Looks like he has a good run coming through tic-tac-toe. Does he make it? Nope, he doesn't make anything happen coming out of tic-tac-toe. Looks to the inside, not enough room there. So it looks like Steve was pretty strong going through tic-tac-toe and closed ground too quickly on Roger, but had nowhere to go. Wasted his momentum coming out of tic-tac-toe going up the hill. Meanwhile, out in the front, we still have Pat Beckley as your race leader, Jim Kidd in second, Ori Della Penna in third, Travis Bowles running in fourth, Trevor Getter in fifth, And then we join the battle here between Roger Cornwall and Steve Pagot for 6. So last season, Steve Pagot was our driver at the beginning of the season. He was the driver to beat. And somewhere along the way, he just lost a little bit of pace. And then your current race leader and points leader, Pat Beckley, stepped into that number 1 spot. So we all know Steve's been very anxious to regain that position from Pat. But right now, he's battling hard with Roger Cornwall for that 6th place spot. He goes to the inside. Not enough room there. He had a good run coming up the hill, but there wasn't enough room. It's interesting doing the broadcast. Sometimes I'm fixated on the TV, so I know what the cameras are following, and then other times I'm staring out the window, trying to follow the racing action. It's always interesting how the perspectives are different. All right, we're gonna try to pick up the battle for 3rd between Ori Della Penna, Travis Bowles, and Travis Getter going into the tic-tac-toe. Because these drivers are battling for that 3rd place spot. So it looks like I missed the call on Steve Pagot getting around Roger Cornwall. So he got around Roger Cornwall exiting tic-tac-toe. But we have a great battle on the track for 3rd between Ori Della Penna, Travis Bowles, and Trevor Getter. So this is the battle for 3, 4, and 5. So while we were watching Steve Pagot and Roger Cornwall, it looked like Travis Bowles and Trevor Getter found a little bit of pace. Now they're battling for that 3rd position spot that is currently held by Ori Della Penna. So right now we also have some racing going on, or some action. I wouldn't say racing, but we're going to have the white flag. The drivers are going to come around for the white flag. So this is going to be the white flag. Trevor Getter goes over the curb. Travis Bowles is defending. Ori Della Penna now has about a 2-kart lead over Travis Bowles. This is the white flag lap for the 125 shifter limited class here at ROK Sonoma. Travis Bowles is getting sideways going into tic-tac-toe. Trevor Getter is all over the rear bumper of Travis Bowles. Both of these drivers are on CRG product. But 3rd place, Ori Della Penna, he is on the GFC product. So I don't know if we're going to have a chance to grab Pat Beckley, because we have a battle here for 3rd. Yeah, so we're not going to be able to grab Pat Beckley, but we have a battle here for 3rd. Let's see what happens. Trevor Getter tries to go high. Does he go to the inside? No, Travis Bowles is defending. There is not enough room there. Travis did a very nice job of defending on the last 2 corners, made it very difficult for Trevor to get around. Oh, we lost a tire somewhere. All right, somewhere we lost a tire. Well, we didn't lose the tire. One of our competitors lost a tire. That looks like Richie Rich, our 80 driver, lost his tire in tic-tac-toe. So earlier when I said there was a lot of action on the track is because chief mechanic for GFC, Sonny Cervelli, was on the fence line waving his arms. And he was trying to grab Richie Rich's attention. Well, now we all know why, because the tire was coming off. Good eye, Sonny Cervelli. You tried to save your driver. Let's see, it looks like one of the competitors is grabbing the tire for Richie Rich. You just never know what's going to happen here at the racetrack. That's a good sign of sportsmanship right there. Or he's going to sell the tire back to him. One or the other. Next up, we have our Micro and Mini Rock class. Micro and Mini Rock, presented by SSI Racing. Greg Abate, thank you for your community service. So next up, we're going to have our Micro and Mini Rock presented by SSI Racing. And yesterday we were able to catch up with our points leader, Gabby Guidera. There is a great points battle in this Mini Rock class. There's only a 10-point lead that Gabby has. So we caught up with Gabby yesterday on the video. So let's
I'm
see what she
looking
has to say.
forward to battling with Matteo and Eric and maybe my brother. I'm looking forward to my brother helping me. Probably my strongest section is probably the middle where the hairpins are because I'm really smooth and consistent. I gotta stay smooth and I gotta just keep my head in it. If they start to pull away, I just gotta keep going. Like anything could happen.
So Gabby is one of our fierce competitors here in this Mini Rock class. The question she was asked was, we asked her who she felt her competitors were this weekend. She had mentioned Matteo Calderon and Eric Doan because she's in a points battle with those two drivers. She also feels her strengths on the track are the hairpins on the track. But when her weekend is going right, she's unbeatable. It's been fun watching Gabby and her brother Matt develop over the past couple of years here at ROK Sonoma. They also go to one of our hometown tracks at Prairie City. So we keep talking about her brother. Her brother is Matt Guidera. He will be starting behind her in this race. So we have Gabby Guidera, your pole sitter and your current points leader. Off pole, we have Eric Doan. Eric Doan has been on NorCal Mondays. Actually, Gabby's been on NorCal Mondays as well. So you can always go back to the past playlist to check those interviews out. Third, Matt Guidera. Fourth, Matteo Calderon. Fifth, Henry Fogarty. Sixth, Brendan Tran. Seventh, Jimmy Fogarty. Eighth, Kylie Johnson. And running in ninth, Landon Cadora Dolph. All right, Gabby is bringing them down the straightaway. We'll see if the head flagman is happy with their speed. We have a green flag going into turn one. And once again, this is our mini and micro class here at ROK Sonoma, race number 7. Looks like Eric Doan is on the outside of Gabby Guidera going down to tic-tac-toe. Who lifts? Wow, it looks like Gabby lifted first. Eric Doan went around the outside. No contact was made. Those young drivers gave each other enough racing room. And that looks like it's going to be Matt Guidera running in third. So we have Eric Doan, Gabby Guidera, Matt Guidera, Matteo Calderon. Oh, looked like Gabby went for the pass, shot wide. So right now, Eric Doan is your track leader. Gabby Guidera goes to the inside going into Laguna. Looks like she makes a pass stick. No, Eric Doan comes right back. Oh, Gabby's on the outside. She gets pushed off into the dirt. She is going to lose 2 spots. Matteo Calderon. Oh, here she comes down the inside of Matteo Calderon. Okay, we're just going to leave the camera on this action right here. Keep in mind, these drivers' ages start at 7 and go to 11. These are young drivers, and they're putting on a great show in these opening laps right now. So we have Eric Doan. It looks like we have Matt Guidera in second. Third, we have Gabby Guidera. Fourth, we have Matteo Calderon. And running in fifth, it looks like we have Henry Fogarty. Some great racing action there on those opening laps. Oh, looks like Guidera, being Matt Guidera, looked to the inside going into tic-tac-toe. He has a run coming up the hill. Let's see what happens here. Matt Guidera has a pass going up the hill, coming on the short chute. Oh, Gabby looks to the inside, going to the right-hand sweeper of Eric Doan. So these lower horsepower classes, it's about momentum. And you can just see how fast position changes happen here when you lose a little bit of speed. Eric Doan was very close to dropping down to third. Oh, he goes down to third. Does Matteo Calderon follow Gabby? No. Gabby runs a little bit of a tighter line than last time. So we have Eric Doan is now in third. Gabby Guidera is in second. Matt Guidera is running in first. So Gabby, if you watch this on the replay, it looks like you're the one blocking for your brother now. So we have Matteo Calderon running in fourth. So it's always fun talking to the kids. I was talking to Gabby earlier, and she made the comment that she wanted her brother to help her out, and I go, like, block? And she goes, no. And I go, you mean like stay between the drivers? And she goes, yeah. And I go, that's blocking. And now she's back to the lead. So she takes the lead from her brother. So Gabby Guidera is back in the lead. Matt is running in second. Eric Doan is running in third. Carlos Calderon is running in fourth. Not Carlos, Matteo Calderon. Carlos is his father. Races a different class. This class is giving us some great racing action right now. So it looks like Matt Guidera has found some speed. Oh, it looks like Matteo Calderon. He made the pass for the moment, but it looked like Eric Doan got him back. And Eric's giving the signals like, hey, let's quit passing each other. Let's go chase the leaders. Let's see if Matteo makes an attempt for a pass here. Nothing there. So your race leader, Gabby Guidera, followed by brother Matt Guidera. So I was saying earlier, it looked like Matt found some pace because earlier in the heat races, Gabby just kind of checked out. So there's some great action up here at the front of the pack. So in our micro rock class, your current race leader in micro rock is Jimmy Fogarty, cart number 28, followed by Kylie Johnson, cart number 133. And back here to the mini rock class, your race leader is Gabby Guidera, followed by Matt Guidera, Eric Doan, Matteo Calderon, Henry Fogarty's running in fifth. And Brandon Tran is running in 6th. So it looks like Matteo Calderon has made the pass, entering tic-tac-toe over Eric Doan. So when the drivers come back around, they'll have 8 laps to go. So your race leader, Gabby Guidera, followed by Matt Guidera. Right now we're following Matteo Calderon and Eric Doan around the track. So elsewhere on the track, these are really the two positions up for grabs. Everywhere else is kind of settled. So we're going to keep an eye on the lap times of Matteo Calderon to see if he is going to close the gap on second place Matt Guidera. But it looks like he's pulling away from Eric Doan just a little bit. So right now Gabby has a 6/10 lead over brother Matt. And then Matt has a 1.5 second lead over Eric. I'm sorry, over Matteo. All right, keep an eye on Matteo Calderon, cart number 101. He just ran his fastest lap of the race. He is closing the gap on Matt Guidera. So we're going to see if he's going to make this interesting as our laps wind down. Right now we have 7 laps to go. Again, this is our mini and micro ROK class brought to you by SSI Racing. Next up will be our Master 100cc. Master 100cc Grid A. All right, so the gap we're looking at is 1.4 seconds. That's the gap we're looking at. 1.4 seconds. So it looks like Matteo added 2/10 to his time. He was not able to close the gap on that lap. But we're going to watch these two. Again, this is the brother-sister combo. The Guideras, Gabby and Matt. Gabby has the blue suit with the bright blue helmet. Matt has the black and white helmet. Looks like Matt Guidera is closing the gap on Gabby. So the Guideras, it's a family-run operation. Mom and Dad spin the wrenches. The older sister's out here spinning wrenches. She also helps with track support. Keep an eye on Matt here. Let's see if he attempts a pass. Right now, this is the only race on the track right now. So we have Matt Guidera looking over his shoulder, realizing he has a huge gap over third. He may be thinking about making a pass here, knowing he has a comfortable lead over third. I almost want to put a camera on the parents. I'm laughing because they just both looked in the tower. Matt Geras pressuring hard. This is a great run for Matt. Our camera crew is doing a great job of keeping this battle in focus. This is for the lead. When they come around, they're going to have 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go for the mini micro rock class. And once again, I don't know if I said it during this race or the previous heat race. Here at ROK Sonoma, the drivers run the same engine package. They don't run the micro restrictor here at ROK Sonoma. They score them separately, but they run them together. That way it gives the younger drivers a better chance to kind of hang with the older kids. It's made the racing very exciting this year. So I wonder if there's team orders here, because Gabby is your points leader. So Gabby's your points leader. Matt's a few positions back in points. The main rival right now is Eric Doan and Matteo Calderon. But right now, these drivers are doing a great job going around ROK Sonoma here. Sprint layout, race number 7. Oh, does he look to the inside? As a camera angle change, it looked like he went to the inside, but it was just the way we were panning around the track. Gabby's going to bring them around for the white flag. Final lap for the Geras as they go 1-2. Keeping an eye on Matteo Calderon. He's still in 3rd. We have Eric Doan in 4th. In 5th, we have Henry Fogarty. Rounding out your top 6, we have Brendan Tran. And then in our micro rock class, we have Jimmy Fogarty, cart number 28. And Kylie Johnson running in 2nd, cart number 133. So we have a white flag situation here. Gabby Geras is your leader. Matt Geras, her brother, is in 2nd. 3rd place is Matteo Calderon. So it looks like it's going to be Gabby. Gabby Geras is your race winner. Pushed around the track by brother Matt Geras. Mom didn't break her phone. 3rd place we have Matteo Calderon. 4th, Eric Doan. 5th, Henry Fogarty. 6th, Brendan Tran. Next up is our Master 100cc class. Master 100cc.
Do I need to change the battery in the transmitter? It's
so sunny, I can't quite make it out.
All right, so on track we have our Master 100cc. Master 100cc is on track, getting ready for the start. Your pole sitter, Scott Formanek, cart number 744. Michael Ting is off pole. We have a green flag. I'll give you a running order here in a moment. Looks like Scott Formanek is going to have the lead going into turn 1. So that's going to be Michael Ting and David Kale running second and third. So we have Scott Formanek as your leader in the 100cc class, 100cc Masters, followed by Michael Ting, David Kale. And it looks like in fourth, that might be Dan Rivera. So right now we're just following the drivers around the track. And your current running order. Scott Formanek is your leader, followed by Michael Ting, David Kao, Dan Rivera, Andrew Waite, Kieran James, Dan Decker, and Kyle Welch. So once again, this is our 100cc Masters class. Senior 100cc presented by OPI Builders, Grid A. Well, we are flying through these main events today, but right now there's a heck of a battle going for that lead position. So far, the leader from the flag has been Scott Formanek. So keep an eye on the drivers as they go through tic-tac-toe. Looks like Scott gets there pretty smoothly. And then you have Michael Ting and you have David Kao. I don't know, I'll call it an accordion effect where they kind of checked up on each other. So we have Scott Formanek on the Esprit chassis under the Speed Sense tint. Then we have Michael Ting and David Kao on the GFC product under the GFC tints. And let's see here, we have Dan Rivera. That looks like he's on an Esprit. And then our driver running in fifth Andrew Waite is on the Sodi product. So a lot of manufacturers represented here at Sonoma. And again, this is our 100cc Masters class. Over the past couple of broadcasts, I've given this group a huge shout out because a year and a half ago, this class was almost non-existent. And a group of these guys got together, they started practicing together, they started exchanging texts, they started a group, and we've seen up to 18 drivers out here at ROK Sonoma in this class, all because racers took initiative to grow their own class. So kudos to Andre and your group, and also to John Madrigal for helping grow this class. This has been one of the faster growing classes here at ROK Sonoma this year. So great group of drivers on and off the track, but it's just great to see the growth. And again, it really was grassroots by the racers themselves. And now Scott Formanek has his hands full with Michael Ting. Looks like Michael Ting goes to the inside going into Kramer. So Michael had the pass going into Kramer. Scott tries to stay on the outside going into Monaco. They cross each other up. Scott Formanek is now on the inside going up the hill into Laguna. David Ko kind of looks. Let's see what Michael Ting does. It looked like David Ko was going to give it a look going into Laguna, but backed out of it. Meanwhile, it looks like Dan Rivera is now in that third spot. Or that actually might be Andrew Waite. Give me a moment while I see the cart numbers come around. But Scott Formanek now has about a 1.5 cart lead over Michael Ting. And it looks like that's going to be Dan Rivera running in third, David Ko in fourth, Andrew Waite in fifth. But there's a lot of crossovers going on. That shuffled up the top three a little bit. It's a lot of fun watching the new classes develop and then also putting on a great racing show here. So Scott Formanek is still holding down that number one spot here in the 100cc Masters class. Michael Ting goes to the inside of Kramer. Let's see, Scott tried this maneuver earlier. He stayed on the outside. Now they go into Monaco. Scott overtakes for the lead again. These drivers are getting feisty. Then we have Dan Rivera getting crossed up, so he didn't get in the back of Michael Ting. That was a lot of wasted momentum there. Now David Ko has dropped all the way back to fifth. I'm not sure if he has a problem. I didn't see the pass for fourth. But it seems like our top four are nose to tail. But then David Ko is a little bit further behind, so we'll keep an eye on him. All right, so Michael's made a couple of passes going into Kramer. Let's see if he tries it again. They go through the right-hand sweeper. He looks to the inside going into Kramer. Makes it stick. Oh, now Andrew Waite is making a pass for second. David Ko is now up into fourth. Dan Rivera got shuffled back to fifth. There is a lot of action here for that number one spot here in 100cc Masters. Michael Ting is your current leader. Scott Formanek is running in second. Third is Andrew Waite. Fourth is David Ko. And fifth is Dan Rivera. I wonder if Camilla wishes she was out there right now. So our drivers are doing a great job here. Your current race leader is Michael Ting. Scott Fermanic is running in second. Andrew Waite is a solid third. Looks like Dan Rivera made a pass on David Ko going into turn 1. So we'll see if Rivera has the pace to catch the lead group. But right now it's Ting, Fermanic, and Waite are your top 3. They're nose to tail. Keep an eye on Dan Rivera to see if he can close the gap. Next time around, these drivers will have 8 laps to go. Looks like Scott's trying to find a way by around Michael again. Let's see what happens here in the next couple of corners. But he's being pressured by Andrew Waite. So once again, this is our 100cc Masters class, 100cc Masters. And we have Andrew Waite going to the inside. So Andrew Waite makes a pass on Scott Fermanic. Oh, we have a pass. Is this a pass for the lead? Andrew Waite goes to the lead, followed by Scott Fermanic. That's going to drop Michael Ting down about 3 spots. He's now in 4th. Dan Rivera goes into 3rd. So right now, there's a lot of racing action. Andrew Waite is your current race leader. So it looks like we have Scott Fermanic running in 2nd. Dan Rivera running in 3rd. Michael Ting in 4th. David Ko in 5th. A lot of shuffling around. It's fun watching the racing action in single speed as they switch off momentum. But right now, Andrew Waite is your current leader, and he just went purple. So Andrew Waite, your leader on the Sodi cart, cart number 725, and going purple. Second place is going to be Scott Fermanic on your Esprit product. And it looks like Dan Rivera is also on an Esprit. And then you have Michael Ting. And Michael Ting makes a pass for 3rd. And he's on the GFC. I was doing the product shout outs, and Michael Ting went